Welcome back to another Why Didn't They Just video. At the end of part 1, I said if y'all gave me some good enough ideas, I'll make a part 2, and y'all delivered. We're gonna go through some of y'all best comments and see which ones actually make sense and which ones might fall apart once you look a little closer at them. Let's get into it. But before we get into it, if you enjoy hidden clues, fan theories, and deep dives into TV shows and movies, hit that subscribe button for me. It really helps me grow the channel and it lets me keep making content like this. All right, let's go. Y'all all had some really good ideas on why didn't they just comment. So let's go through some of them and see which ones actually hold up and which ones may fall apart. First comment: why hasn't anyone had one big town meeting where everyone explains everything that's happening? And you know what? I have to admit, this one makes a lot of sense. At first, I understand why people keep things to themselves. You don't want people thinking you've lost your mind. But after you've seen monsters only come out at night, people having visions, teleporting trees, and everything else that's happening in Frontville, we're way past worrying about sounding crazy. A town meeting where everyone shares what they've experienced probably would have helped connect a lot of dots. But I also don't think everything should be shared with everyone. Some information, absolutely. But if you're coming up with a plan to fight the monsters, maybe keep that between the people involved. Think about it. Boyd told Sophia about the totem poles they found and the plan to use them against the monsters. Then somehow, the monsters already seemed to know what the plan was. Now, we don't know if Sophia told anyone or if the town itself somehow found out, but whatever happened, it shows that not every plan could be announced to the whole town. So maybe the answer is somewhere in the middle. Share experiences, share visions, share clues, but then you're planning for your next move against whatever it is controlling Frontville. Maybe keep that information on a need to know base. All right, next comment. Once they found out where the monsters slept during the day, why didn't they barricade the exits the monsters used to come out at night? Okay. This is one of those comments where my first thought was, honestly, why didn't they try that? Finding the monster's cave was one of the biggest discoveries they've ever made. For the first time, they knew where the monsters were during the day. So why not try to block them in? Bring in boulders, collapse down the entrance, stack fallen trees. Even if it only slowed them down for one night, that's still something. Now, before we say it definitely would have worked, there are a couple of problems. First, these monsters are incredibly strong. We've seen them tear down the box when Frank was locked in. So it's possible they would have eventually broken through a barricade too. But here's the thing, we don't know because nobody's ever tried. The second problem is we don't actually know how many entrances there are to the cave. We've seen the main cave entrance, we've seen the other entrance where Fatima was, where Boyd went, and we've seen another opening connected to the colony house. So even if they blocked one entrance, who's to say the monsters wouldn't just come out somewhere else? But even knowing all of that, I still think it would have been worth trying, because every time they tested something, they learned something. Maybe the monsters break through, maybe they don't, maybe they discovered another entrance, but doing nothing means they learned nothing. And in Frontville, information is one of those few advantages they actually have. Next comment, character saying, I'm fine, it's nothing, after having a vision and shaking with their whole body for 3 minutes. Okay, this one had me laughing because they're not wrong. Seriously, every time somebody has a vision and from, it's the same conversation. Are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine, it's nothing. No, it's definitely something. And this actually goes back to the previous comment about everyone sharing information, because here's what's funny. They talk to each other all the time, but at the same time, they don't actually communicate. They have all these full conversations, but then leave out the one piece of information that could actually help each other. Oh, I just saw dead children. I heard voices. I have another vision. A mysterious person told me something. How do you leave that part out? And we've learned that visions and from are rarely random. Jay's visions weren't just hallucinations. They led him to Christopher, the symbol and pieces of the town's past. Tabitha's visions of the boy in white and the children kept leading her towards answers. Elgin's dreams and visions weren't meaningless either. They ended up influencing some of the biggest decisions he made. So by now, if somebody starts seeing things, I'm not brushing it off. I'm asking, what did you see? What happened? When did it start? Because in from, those visions usually mean something. So no, you're not fine. Sit down and tell the group everything. Next comment. Why didn't Elgin trick the man in yellow, saying he would help him and then expose the man to others when Elgin had the chance? See, this is actually a really good question, because my first thought was, yeah, why didn't he just do it and pretend? First, find out everything that you can and then run straight to Boyd and Donna. On the surface, that actually sounds like the smartest move, but then I started thinking about everything we've already seen. Elgin wasn't just talking to some random person. He had already been manipulated through visions and dreams. Little little by little his trust has been earned. So by that point, I'm not even sure Elgin believed he was being manipulated anymore. I think he honestly believed he was doing the right thing. But there's something I don't think we know enough about. What if pretending was never even an option? Remember when Sophia cut Claire's hand and performed that blood ritual? That wasn't just a cut. It seemed like it created some kind of connection, and we just don't know exactly what that connection allows her to do. So let's say Elgin only pretended to help. Would she have made him go through that same blood ritual? And if she did, could she have sensed that he was lying? Could that connection allow her to detect trust or deceit? Could she manipulate him even more? Could she hurt him from a distance? We honestly don't know, and that's what makes this so difficult, because we don't understand the rules before that ritual. Now, with all that being said, I still think Elgin made one huge mistake. He kept everything to himself. He never went to Boyd. He never went to Donna. He never got a second opinion from anyone, and that's something we've seen happen over and over again in Fromville. People try to carry these impossible situations by themselves, and it's almost always ends badly. So I love this idea, but I don't think it's as simple as saying just trick her. Until we know exactly what that blood ritual does, I'm not convinced Elgin would have fooled her in the first place. Alright, so that's it for part 2. I couldn't get every comment, but trust me, I read a lot more than I could fit in this video. Thank you to everyone who left a comment on part 1. I love seeing your theories because some of y'all catch things I completely miss, and that's what makes this community so much fun. So keep those why didn't they just ideas coming, because if you keep leaving comments like this, part 3 just might happen. Also, keep an eye out because silo content is coming soon to this channel. I can't wait to dive into those theories with you all. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments what's your biggest why didn't they just moment in From. Until next time, every great story deserves a real good talk.